everyone! Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Raya and I hope that you'd stick around by clicking the subscribe button. If you want to be notified whenever I have new uploads, then click the bell beside it. Today I'm gonna do another episode of the Take It or Leave It series wherein I try a new product and see whether it works for me or not. So, without further ado, let's start and just keep on watching. Bear in mind that the Take It or Leave It series is not by any means a first impressions video, so I've tried and tested the products off cam before giving my full thoughts here in YouTube. So today I'm gonna do a review on the L'Oreal Paris True Match Foundation, and this is in the shade Nude Beige. And the reason why I picked this up is it's been a holy grail for most YouTubers before. I'm talking about the old school YouTube, and they seem to like this one a lot. So I'm testing whether or not the hype is real. So let's start. I'm gonna take a full pump of this one. And as you can see, it's a little bit watery. It's not thick by any means. So I'm hoping that this is a foundation that can be worn every day because of its consistency, as you can see. So it claims to have a satin finish, which I don't think it's that satin, but it's not too matte either and it's not too dewy. So I think it's more on the demi-matte side. And I've tried this a lot in the past, and I think the best way to apply this is with a damp sponge, because when I tried it with a brush, it's streaky and it feels like I have foundation on. Like when you see the final result, the result looks like I have a foundation on, like it's foundation day, it's mask day, you know. So I don't want my face to look like that. I want it to blend with my skin as if it's skin, and I want it to look like it's my natural skin. So I find that with the sponge I get that finish. So I'm just taking some product, and as you can see, this is not by any means my true match because it's too light. It's a little bit light for me, and I don't know why I think that I'm neutral undertone. Maybe because of my veins. When I look at my veins, it's kind of blue but it's kind of green. So I assumed I was neutral undertone. But it turns out my judgment is clouded. Because I think I'm not in the neutral undertone family. I think I need a little bit of warmth for it to be my perfect shade, you know? So in terms of its shade being my perfect shade, let's overlook that for a while, you know. I ordered this online through Beauty MNL and it was at sale for 350 pesos from 499, I believe. So like I grabbed it, and there were only a few shades left, like 5 or 4, and I thought this was the closest shade that can match me, but well, so yeah. But this works out well if I blend it really carefully and seamlessly on my skin. It's a little bit light and it looks a little bit grayish on my skin because of its undertone. So don't mind that. Pretend that this is a good shade match. And as you can see, it blends really well on my skin with a sponge. It looks like I don't have any foundation on, and it feels like I don't have any foundation on. It's pretty lightweight. So as you can see, I have put foundation on the first half of my face, and it's not full coverage. Of course, it's not. It's a little bit on the medium spectrum. So it's a medium coverage foundation. And because I have just put a little bit of amount, it's like light coverage, but I'm gonna build this up in a little while. So I'm just gonna blend this thoroughly, seamlessly And as you can see, it did not cover my blemishes here. I don't have too much problems on my skin. I only have like some veins showing through and some redness and the occasional blemishes like this one. And it's not covering that, so that's okay. I think for an everyday foundation, it's good that your blemishes are still showing because this makes you look like you don't have any makeup on. I don't mind if it does not cover everything because for everyday, I don't want to cover everything either. So as for me to look still natural, you know. I'm also blending that down my neck because true match is not my true match. This one has SPF 16 in it, PA++, which means that if you use it for flash photography, it might have a little bit of flashback, so be careful with that. And yeah, this is one layer of the foundation on my face. It looks natural, it looks satin. Yes, that's the word. I thought it was going to be demi-matte, but I think it's gonna be demi-matte if you use a brush. But today, since I use a damp sponge, it looks very much like in the middle of being matte and being dewy. So let's build this up and see if it's buildable. So I still have a little bit of the product on the back of my hand. And I'm gonna stamp that more so on the center of my face because that's where I need to build my coverage. I still have some dark circles peeking through, but I'm not expecting it to cover that. It's buildable, but it's not buildable up to full coverage, I think. I think it's on the high medium boundary. And let's try to cover that blemish. Oh yeah, it did cover it up a little bit more, but not totally. But I'm fine with that. So this is the foundation with 2 layers on, and I think that it pretty much is buildable, although not to the full coverage spectrum. I would say this is a high medium coverage foundation, and it did even out my skin tone, as you can see, and it covered up my veins, my redness, and it did not totally cover my blemishes, but it did build it up to an extent that it's not at all obvious, you know. So that's fine with me. I am not mad about the coverage one bit because, as I've said, I intend to use this as an everyday foundation, and for that purpose alone, it works very well. It feels lightweight even though I have 2 layers already on my face. It doesn't feel like I have makeup on. Sometimes when I build other foundations up to 2 layers, it feels like my skin is not breathing. Like it covers up my face totally without giving it air to breathe, you know? And I don't like that kind of feeling. It's tight and uncomfortable, but this one doesn't feel like that at all. It feels very much like nothing on my face, and that's a good plus for me. And for the finish, it's not dewy, it's not matte, it's in between. So I like that too. Now I'm more into that kind of finish, like satin finishes. I'm not more into matte anymore. And I'm not also fond of very dewy foundations because the weather we have here is very humid. So with dewy foundations, it tends to slip and slide more. So for the weather, I prefer a more satin finish. And also, it's a plus for me because I have combination skin. So I'm just gonna do my makeup, and the only thing I have to test now is the longevity. It's now 11:12 in the morning, so I'm gonna test it out for quite a few hours and I'll catch up on you later. Bye! Alright, since I don't have my perfect match, I'm gonna tone this down a little bit with a lot of bronzer. So if you have a lighter shade of foundation, that's a good tip for you to try. This foundation needs to be set because it has been creasing under my eyes. I don't know if you can see that, but looking at it in the mirror, it does. So I need to set it up with powder. So this is my final makeup look for the day. And as you can see, it's not too bad once the bronzer and blush is on. I don't look like a ghost anymore. So yeah, let's see how this wears out throughout the day. And I forgot to tell you that in the bottle, it seems as though this foundation has glitters or shimmers in it, but when you blend it on your face, it does not translate. So I don't see any shimmery. Oh wait, I see it now when there's some lighting, but on natural lighting it doesn't look like you're shining, shimmering, splendid, you know? So I think the shining particles, glimmers, etc. contributes to the dewy look, dewy aspect of the satin finish. The tiny shimmery particles are only visible when you look closer and under some lighting. So there's that to consider also. Hey guys, it's now 7 in the evening, so it's been 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours since I last put this makeup on, and yes, I am oily in the center part of my face. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you do. But yes, I'm oily, and that tends to happen a lot from my foundations, even my favorite ones, the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I really do tend to get oily on my T-zone. So let's see how much oil I get from this. I didn't do any retouch from my day, so this is as bad as it can get for 8 hours. The shade is really bad on me. I mean, you can really see that I have a white cast on my face. One, because it has SPF 16 PA++ in it, and also it's a little bit more neutral undertoned than what I should have, but it's okay. So this is the amount of oil that I have for 8 hours. Not bad actually. This is the usual amount that I do tend to get whenever I wear foundation for this amount of time. So that's really okay. For longevity, I give it 4 out of 5. Just because, you know, I want it to be more long wearing, long staying. And it seems as though it's like vanishing on the center part of my face, mostly under my eyes. It's gone basically, and here around my mouth because I ate a lot during the day, so that's gone too. And what else? The sides of my face, it's still on pretty well because you can still see my bronzer, my blush. It's just in this T-zone area where it broke up, you know, the usual. So I guess my final thoughts are, take it, because one, I like its lightweight feeling on my skin. It's very comfortable, like you don't feel that you are wearing foundation. A lot of foundations give me that tight feeling, that dry feeling, that you really can feel something on your face. This one doesn't do that, and I'm glad that it doesn't do that. And what else? The second is the price point. Of course, it's retailed for 499 pesos regular price, but I got it for 350 pesos, which is a bargain if you ask me. And I like its finish. It's satin finish, and the reason why it has this dewy, healthy, luminous, radiant lip from within glow is that it has some shimmery particles in it. If you can see it under the lighting, it really has some gold specks of shimmers in it, which is not visible if you are not under heavy lighting, if you are not using flash photography, and if you do not stare yourself directly and like you have the mirror 5 centimeters away from your face, it's not that visible from afar. Of course, one con that I can see is that it didn't match me well, and that is not the foundation's fault. It's purely my fault because I went shopping online, and you know, from when you go online shopping, I went online shopping, and when you go online shopping, sometimes you tend to decide not wisely. So, I suggest if you want to buy these kinds of products like foundation face products, go to their physical store and swatch it for yourself because you're gonna regret. Fortunately, I have the LA Girl Pro Illuminating Foundation, something, what's that called? Basta yung mahabang name. And that one I also bought online. And it's not my shade either. It's very dark on me, like 2 shades darker. So, my solution for this dilemma is to mix them together. I actually tried it for like 2 days last week and it works well. So, I still will use this in conjunction with my LA Girl Pro HD foundation. So yeah, that's that. Overall, I really like this product, and if you are thinking of buying this one, this is a good foundation from the drugstore. So yeah, that completes this video. I hope that this helps you, and I'll see you soon on my next video. Bye!